Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing amazing. I'm Reena, an English language enthusiast, and today's orator. So, friends, today I'm going to speak about a topic that is not only related to psychology but also deeply connected to our everyday lives. The topic is the kingdom inside your mind. Yes, the kingdom inside your mind. But before we begin, let me ask you a simple few questions. Have you ever wondered why your heart suddenly start beating faster just before stepping onto a stage? Why do your hands tremble even when you know the answer? Why do we keep replying one embarrassing moment in our minds for years while easily forgetting hundreds of happy memories? And perhaps the most important question, who is really controlling your life, your conscious mind, or an ancient survival system hidden deep inside your brain? Today, we are not just going to talk about thoughts, we are going to fascinating journey inside the human brain, a kingdom where every emotion, every fear, every decision, every act of courage is created. And by the end of this speech, you will not only understand what happens inside your mind, but also why it happens, and most importantly, how you can become the true ruler of your own kingdom. So, friends, we often hear motivational speakers says things like don't think negatively, don't overthink, don't worry about the future, don't let fear control you, don't take stress, don't doubt yourself, don't worry about what people will say. Step out of your comfort zone, never give up on your dreams. But have you ever wondered why? What is the real reason behind all of this? Do we deliberately choose to think negatively? Does anyone wake up in the morning and decide today I'm going to spend the whole day worrying? Of course not. So the truth is that our brain is the result of a million of years evolution. Imagine our ancestor living thousands of years ago. Every day they face danger, wild animal, poisonous snake, lack of food, unpredictable environment. For them, survival depend on only one thing: detecting danger before it was too late. Those who noticed danger quickly had a better chance to surviving. That's why even today our brain notices danger, risk and negative possibilities much faster than positive ones. So overthinking, anxiety and fear are not sign of weakness. They are actually part of our brain's natural security system. Therefore, the real question is not how do I stop overthinking negatively? How can I understand this ancient programming of my brain and learn to work with it instead of fighting against it? And that is exactly what I have come here to share with you today. Not just what to do, but why it happens and what science tells us the healthiest way to respond. So, friends, let me explain through a story. Instead of using complicated scientific terms, let me take you inside the kingdom that exists within every one of us. So imagine that inside your head there is kingdom. In this kingdom live three very important characters. The first character is Amygdala. Amygdala is the security guard of the kingdom. Yes, the security guard of the kingdom. It has only one job. If you detect danger, sound the alarm immediately. It was always alert, always watching, always prepared. The second character, Hippocampus. The hippocampus is the librarian of the kingdom. Yes, the librarian of the kingdom. It stores the memories of your entire life. It remembers who scolded you as a child, which incident made you feel embarrassed, when you succeed, when you failed. It carefully preserves every important experience. And the third character, prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is the wise king of the kingdom. Yes, the wise king of the kingdom. Its job is to think logically, analyze situation, make wise decision and guide the entire kingdom with intelligence. Now the story begins. Imagine that today you have to deliver a speech in front of the 100 people. As you walk towards the stage, suddenly Amygdala shout, "Danger, danger!" The wise king asked, "Where is the danger?" Amygdala replied, "Look, so many people are staring at us." Just then the librarian, the hippocampus, come running with the old file. He open it and says, "Remember, 5 class? One day you couldn't answer a question and everyone laughed at you." Amygdala immediately shout, "See, I told you there is a danger," and within second your entire body begin to react. The moment amygdala senses danger, it doesn't waste even a second. It immediately sends emergency signal throughout the entire body. First, it tells the heart, beat faster, we may have to fight or run. Then it tells to the lungs, breathe faster, the body needs more oxygen. Next, it tells to the muscle, get ready for the action, we may have to escape at any moment. Then it tells to the stomach, stop digestion food right now, survival is more important than digestion. And suddenly, your heart starts racing, your hands begin to tremble, your throat becomes dry, and your breath becomes faster. You feel butterflies in your stomach, and you think, I am so nervous, but let me pause for a moment. Was there really any danger? Was there a lion standing on the stage? Was there a snake waiting for you? Was someone trying to attack you? No. There were only people sitting quietly waiting to listening to you. The problem is that amygdala cannot distinguish between a real danger and imagined one. Whatever it senses, a threat, whatever, whether a real or imagined, it immediately switch your body into survival mode. Now, a new character enters the story. Meet the vagus nerve. If amygdala is the security guard of the kingdom, then the vagus nerve is the messenger of peace. Yes, messenger of peace. When you begin taking slow, deep breath, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out, the vagus nerve become active. It first goes to the heart and says, relax, everything is safe now, slow down. Then it goes to the lungs and says, take slow and gentle breaths, there is no danger. Next, it speaks to the stomach, everything is under control, you can continue your normal walk. Finally, it walks over the amygdala and says, I have checked the entire area, there is no lion, no snake, no danger, you can stop the alarm now. As the body begins to calm down, the prefrontal cortex, our wise king, become active once again. Now the king smiles and says, wait a minute, these are not lions, these are not enemies, these are not dangerous creature. These are simple people and they are here to listen, not to harm me. Slowly, your breathing becomes normal, your heartbeat settle, your mind becomes clearer, your confidence start returning, and finally you begin your speech. A few minutes later, the same stage that looked frightening now feels completely normal. But here comes the most important question. If our brain naturally reacts this way, can we train it to respond differently? Can we teach our mind not to see every challenge as a threat? Can we remain calm when we face criticism, failure, stress, anger, or uncertainty? So, my friends, answer is yes. And for that, I would like to share a simple yet powerful 4-step formula that you can completely transform the way we respond to life challenges. So, step 1, pause. Don't react immediately. Pause for just 5 to 10 seconds. Take one slow deep breath. Step 2, observe. Notice what is happening inside your mind and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Is my amygdala taking control or is my wise king making the decision? Step 3, choose. Instead of reacting impulsively, choose your response wisely. Remember, anyone can react, but emotionally intelligent people know how to respond with calmness, patience, and wisdom. Step 4, practice meditation, regular exercise, reading good books, practicing gratitude, and continuous learning. These are not just healthy habits, they are daily exercise that strengthen your brain. The more consistently you practice, then the stronger, healthier, and more resilient your mind becomes. So, friends, now you might be wondering, can these simple daily practice really change the brain? So, the answer is yes, but how? So, for that, let's understand one of the most fascinating discoveries in modern neuroscience, neuroplasticity. Yes, neuroplasticity is the brain's incredible ability to change, adopt, and recognize itself throughout life. For many years, scientists believed that after a certain age, the brain could no longer change significantly, but modern neuroscience has completely changed that belief. Today, we know that our brain is constantly changing based on what we repeatedly think, feel, and do. So let's understand it with story. Imagine your brain as a dense forest. Every thought you think, every habit you repeat, every skill you practice, create a small pathway through that forest. The more you walk on the same path, the wider, stronger, and easier it becomes. Exactly the same thing happens inside your brain. Every repeated thought and every repeated action strengthen the neural connections associated with it. If you repeatedly focus on fear, anxiety, anger, or self doubt, those pathways become stronger. But if you regularly practice meditation, exercise, gratitude, reading, learning new skills, and positive thinking, your brain begins to build new and healthier neural pathways. And once that pathway becomes stronger, it gradually becomes your natural way of thinking and behaving. So always remember, if your brain can change, your habit can change. If your habit can change, your personality can change. And if your personality can change, your entire life can change. Now let's talk about, why do some people remain calm even in difficult situations? Do they not have an amygdala? Of course they do. Do they never experience fear? Of course they do. The difference is not that they have fewer problems. The difference is that they have trained their prefrontal cortex, their wise king, to respond wisely instead of reacting emotionally. They have learned the difference between a thought and a reality. The deepest secret: whenever you meditate, practice yoga, do pranayam, and chant a mantras, walk in nature, or simply hug someone you love, you are doing much more than just feeling relaxed. You are teaching your brain an important message. You are saying that the world is not as dangerous as my fear makes it appear. And gradually, the amygdala becomes calmer, the vagus nerve becomes stronger, and the prefrontal cortex become more active. And your life slowly moves from reaction to awareness. And this is the point where modern neuroscience and thousands of years of ancient wisdom seem to shake hands. Lord Buddha, Patanjali, yoga, meditation, modern neuroscience, and psychology all speaks different language, but they all point towards the same truth. The mind cannot be controlled by force, it can only be transformed through understanding. Fear cannot always be eliminated, but it can be understood and then gradually overcome. So, because peace does not mean that problem disappear. Peace means even when problems stand before you, your wise king remains stronger than your security guard. The greatest freedom in life does not come from controlling the outside world. It comes from understanding what is happening inside you. So, my friends, in a nutshell, don't just ask yourself, what am I thinking? Ask yourself, which part of my mind am I strengthening every single day? My security guard or my wise king? Because the person who learn to establish peace within the kingdom of the mind can face every challenge in the outside world with greater clarity, greater courage, greater balance, and greater confidence. So, thank you so much for your valuable time. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful day ahead.